Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode of Song Exchange, and this is episode 5. So we've made it to 5 episodes already.
Yes.
So we're having a ball doing this. Hope you guys are enjoying. If you haven't seen what we're doing here, go back and look at some of the other videos. There's 4 before this one. So I get to go first playing a song for Steven. Here we go. We're taking turns going back and forward. He's going to put on ye old headphones, and I'm going to play a little jam for him. And we'll see what he thinks about it.
Lay it on me, DJ.
Okay, the song I'm playing for him is I'm playing Wheels of Fire off of LA Guns' second album, Cocked and Loaded. To me, Cocked and Loaded is a masterpiece. Now, I'm a big fan of LA Guns. Tracy Guns, wow. I mean, just what a guitarist. But their first album was really awesome. And when they came out with Cocked and Loaded was recorded entirely digital. It never made it to analog tape. And it came out on CD. And I remember the first time I heard Cocked and Loaded, and I was just kind of blown away. And as far as songs goes, Wheels of Fire is an awesome album. It's an awesome song. I just love the way it starts off, and it starts off with that bass riff, and then Tracy comes in with that little riff, and then the song just kind of keeps building and building and building and building. And I like the way it ends, how they just kind of break it down and everything. But yeah, so this is a great song. If you've never heard it, I recommend you clicking on the link below and checking it out. But now I'm going to talk about some other songs off this album. Letting Go and Slap in the Face was almost the song I played for him. But there are actually 2 songs. Letting Go, it kind of goes right into Slap in the Face. It's one of the songs I'm actually going to recommend that he goes back and listens to. Excuse me. But Letting Go, Slap in the Face, Rip and Tear, Sleazy Come, Easy Go, Never Enough. Malaria is the first song that they get to on this album that I kind of slow down a little bit on Malaria. A lot of people, my friend that I grew up, they actually introduced me to LA Guns. He introduced me to Typo Negative, LA Guns, Danzig. He introduced me to Black Flag, a lot of people. But he loved Malaria. Ballad of Jane. I love Ballad of Jane, but it's kind of, overplayed in my opinion, but it's still a great song. Magdalene. I love how that starts off with that weird kind of Asian sounding guitar at the beginning of it. Give a Little. It's a good. It's like kind of like a little grooving song. I like it. I'm Addicted is the instrumental, and you guys know how I feel about addictions. Not addictions. You know how I feel about instrumentals. 17 Crash is a great song. Showdown Ride on Sunset's a great song. Wheels of Fire, which is what's playing right now for him. And then I Want to Be Your Man. I Want to Be Your Man is a phenomenal song. Awesome. So this is a great song. If you hadn't heard it, check the link below. So if you haven't heard it, check it out. And we're going to see what he thinks. So, you know who the band is?
I think. There's going to be a Shot in the Dark. Is that LA Guns?
LA Guns is the band.
I'm guessing it has Desire for something.
Wheels of Fire.
Okay.
Wheels of Fire is the name of the song. It's the next to last song off their second album, Cocked and Loaded. So what do you think about that? You know who Tracy Guns is, their guitarist?
No.
Tracy Guns is their guitarist.
He goes off real quick.
He was in an early incarnation of Guns N' Roses. He was in a band called Hollywood Rose with Axl Rose. And then Axl Rose split and they formed Guns N' Roses and he formed LA Guns. So what do you think?
Yeah, he goes off. The bass player has an easy job for the first minute and a half. And that's not bad songwriting. Because I was like, I was trying to think in my head. I'm like, okay, where could he go? And I'm like, there's not really anywhere he could go. That note that he's hitting is kind of the only place he can be right now. So
yeah, and if he started doing all these bass runs and everything, it would have took away from what I think. That is one of those songs I've seen in my comment. Is that's a song of progression. You feel that song kind of progress and get more and more and more and more, and then they kind of break it down at the end.
Yeah.
You know.
I like it. It's kind of, it's pretty similarly styled to some of the stuff you had me listening to before. But I'd say I like that better than the last one we just did. I'd probably go 8 on that one.
Okay.
That's pretty good. And kudos to what'd you say his name?
Tracy Guns.
Tracy Guns. He knows how to use his effects really good, and they do mix the guitars in an interesting way. It doesn't sound like they have one in each earphone.
They don't,
but it kind of there's some panning going on,
especially during the solo.
Yeah,
when he's doing that note that just keeps going up. Yeah. What'd you think about them speeding up the singer's voice leading into the solo?
I was wondering. I was like, is he holding that note? And then once he got to that point, I was like, yeah, there's something going on there. They probably just sped it up or whatever.
They sped it up, yeah.
Because I was gonna like if he went up a whole octave from where he already was, I was gonna be like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like it, so I'm going 8 on that one.
That's awesome. But anyway, so we'll go on, and I will put Me Under the Hood.
All right. I like how we both check to make sure we have them on the right way.
Right. Yep.
We don't just throw them on.
No, I like what's supposed to be in the left is supposed to be in the left.
Oh, wow, that's funny. My 2 songs are exactly the same length. Okay, so what he's listening to right now is a song called Cries in Vain from Bullet for My Valentine.
So I think you listen. That's not what told you. You cry so in vain. Everyone keeps trying to take that heart away. That's not what told you.
This is one of those really super emo metal bands that I got into, or it's actually the first. I have to give this song credit where credit's due, because this is the song that kind of introduced me to the bands and the style of music that I would go on to listen to for years and years and years and up until now. Bullet for My Valentine kind of was like the quintessential band of my early teen into later teen years. They were the first band that I ever saw live. This song is off of their the Poison album. It's one of their earliest albums, and I think it still holds really strongly. There's a lot of, I think Bullet for My Valentine has some of the best harmonies in this genre as far as guitar goes. There's 2 guitar players, and they've got like a high harmony and a low harmony, and they'll just let the bass ride under that, and it makes it really interesting. And they do that kind of harmonies all the time through the melody on the chorus and through solos and stuff like that, and it makes for a really enjoyable listening experience. Some criticisms I think that he's going to have about the song is the lead singer does tend to get kind of screamy or cookie monstery, like he likes to say. But I think it's done tastefully in this application. There's not a whole lot of Cookie Monster going on kind of whenever it doesn't warrant it. And he's not going full Cookie Monster. He's just kind of getting a real good rasp in his voice going. Like I said, this is one song that I have to credit. It grabbed my attention from the very first time I listened to it. I think it was, funny enough, I think it was actually on some racing game on the PS2 that I used to play. Maybe Need for Speed Most Wanted or something. This was one of the tracks that was featured. And up in the top, in the corner of the screen, when you were driving or whatever, it'd show you the name of the song and who the artist was. And I was like, I have to go look that up. But of course, since I had dial-up at that time, it took me like 2 days to download the song. But I just have so many fond memories of listening to this band. Although they are very, very emo, as far as their lyrical content goes, it's very sad, sappy, like a lot of breakup songs, a lot of give me the nails for your coffin and I'll nail them in for you, that kind of stuff. So I can understand why, some people don't like it. But it's kind of just what I grew up listening to, and I really enjoy it. So that's what I think about it. We'll see what he thinks about it as soon as this is over.
Okay.
All right.
Who's that band?
Bullet for My Valentine.
Bullet for My Valentine. Okay, I've heard of them. And your Cries in Vain?
Cries in Vain.
Cries in Vain. Okay. Now, I actually enjoyed that, and that even though it's got screaming in it, it doesn't have the screaming in it. There's screaming, and then there's that low guttural
The growl.
The growl. Now the growl, I can't take much of that, but that screaming, And do you know about when that came out?
06.
Yeah, because it has that feeling of a lot of other bands that was coming out during that time. The guitars sound a lot like what you hear in some other bands and stuff like that, like almost like a Blink-182 or something like that, or I don't know. I'm not real familiar with that genre because I never really got into it.
Right.
What was that band that sang that song? I think it was on your BMX, talking something about with the top down, seats back, rolling in my Cadillac.
Oh gosh, I couldn't tell you the name.
But you know what song I'm talking about?
I think I have it on my playlist. But yeah.
It has that feel to it, which I dig. It's just not something I usually jump out after. But I like the song. I like the guitar. I like the way it's. I'm like you. I listen to how something's recorded too. How it sounds and everything. So I like that. I'd probably score that a 7.
Oh, I didn't expect you to score it that highly. I was saying that song is very, very important to me because that is the first song that I ever heard listening to music like that. And that's kind of the song that introduced me to all the music that I listen to now.
Oh, cool. So it's like your gateway.
That was my gateway. I said on the video, I actually heard it playing a Need for Speed game.
Okay.
And I looked it up, and I said that because I had dial-up at the time, it took me like 2 days to download the song.
Yeah, I remember the first time I downloaded Bulls on Parade. It took with dial-up, it took like 4 hours to download a 4-minute song.
Yeah.
You kids are spoiled these days.
Yeah, for real. But that song is very important to me because that's kind of, and I'm not sorry for the kind of music I listen to. So
Right.
that song, it's why it's close to my heart. Is the one. It's what got me into what I enjoy now.
Right.
And Bullet for My Valentine is actually the first band that I ever saw live. And it's a shame I don't have it now. I wish I did. They were going on a tour for their album, Fever. And it was an awesome album. It was released in 2010. I went to one of their concerts they had. And I had the double vinyl signed by everyone in the band.
Don't have it anymore.
I don't have it anymore.
Wow. That sucks.
It does suck.
So, what do you score that song?
That's a 10 for me.
That's a 10 for you.
10. That's
that because, of course, that's kind of like your Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, that that is the song that, I mean, when I think back to the music that I've started listening to, like, in the beginning, because that came out in 06.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how old were you in 06?
11.
11. Yeah.
I was 11. So, I mean, I've been listening to that kind of music since, before I was a teenager.
Right. That's awesome. So, well, I guess that does it. You got anything else?
That about wraps it up.
Okay. Well, hope you guys enjoy it. Check out the links in the comments, links in the description down there. If you hadn't heard these bands, you hadn't heard these songs, they're both good songs. Check them out. And leave us comments, suggestions, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And we will see you next time on the next Song Exchange.